Welcome back to another episode of The View from Mars. I'm Steve. We're here with Sammy Espinay. We're here with Fedel Palmero. It's happening. It's awesome. Lads, what are we on tonight?
Well, tonight...
sorry. Yeah.
Okay, what?
All right. Let's not do that again, Sam.
Yeah.
Tonight we're tonight. We're talking.
I'm not ashamed of my game.
Tonight is the night where we reminisce. Let's get the people to know a little bit more about who we are and how we roll. Sammy,
so pretty much funny stories.
Yeah, man.
All right, look, man. Okay, let me tell you. I'll tell you a couple of funny stories. So, this funny story I have. Well, hold on, I'm getting to it. Is when I broke up with Fedel on Boxing Day because I was late for.
You guys used to date?
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
man.
Sorry, hold on, Sam. You need to.
No. Let me. I will explain. Right. So
I know, but everyone hears this, and you just be like, "Yeah, when Fidel and I broke up," and they're like,
"Don't worry. I'm explaining." So look, here's the context. The context is that Fidel rang me and said, "Look, come at a particular time to the gym so we can work out together." My lazy butt said, right, I'll be there in 15 minutes, knowing that it would take me 35 to 40 minutes to get there. So Fidel rang me about 4 times after that, and I had purposely missed his calls because I knew he would be furious, and I would get a massive call, get a massive hiding from him because he would be late, and it was Boxing Day, and all the car park spots would be taken. So there wouldn't be enough room to find a park to be able to go to the gym. So he would be pissed. So anyway, I finally answered the call, and he just has an absolute blast at me for like, where are you? Why are you not here on time? And I haven't been able to find a park, and we're supposed to be training at the gym. You said you'd be here 15 minutes ago. I lose my shit and said, you know what, Fidel? We need to take a break. I think our relationship needs to take a break. I think we need to go on a break for a few weeks and just figure this out, and I will call you back at the appropriate time, and hung up the phone.
I love how your recount of this tale is very skewed from what actually, like, I lived this, man. And so you make me sound like a controlling spouse. But
yeah, look.
And Steve, I know there's 2 sides. There's going to be my story, Sam's, and somewhere in the middle is the truth. But Sam, the reason why I was angry. Right, so I lived in Carrara. I was at the Bradstone Roadhouse. You were just up the road in Highland Park. We both had to take either the highway or Rabina Parkway to get to the gym. Call you up. This time, you're like, yeah, man, I'm going to be leaving in a minute. I was like, sweet. I got to the gym. I found a park. No worries. I got into the gym. Called you. Are you on the way? Yeah, man, I'm just coming down Rabina Parkway. All right, I'm gonna start with abs. So I did 45 minutes of abs, waiting for you to show up. Tried to call, and you're like, yeah, man. Oh, sorry, man. I'm just trying to find a car park. I'm like, all right, I'll keep going then. So I started on with a session. An hour later, I finally get hold of you. And I'm like, oi, what the hell, man? Like, I just wasted almost 2 hours waiting for you to do this session. And you're like, oh, I couldn't find a park, so I just went home and didn't bother telling me. And I went off, and you're like, yeah, man, I'm just a shit friend. Maybe we shouldn't see each other anymore. And hung up. And then I call you back, and I'm like, did you just break up with me, dude?
You too. You sleep.
I was like, mate, what the hell? And you're like, yeah, I was being extreme. And then everything was good, but you know,
I'm terrible. I'm bad with time. I'm bad with time. I've been better though. But the thing is now, like, if we hang out, and I think you still do it now, is you give me a time half an hour before the actual meet of a time.
Yeah, my wife does that. Yeah.
I plan for you to be late.
I'm not actually late anymore.
Well, look, let's just bring up something. I just remember. Actually, you know what? You finish your story, and then I'll come in.
That is a finishing story.
Okay, because this is what's worse than being late. Let me give you a story. It's 2013, I think. We're living in the Marriott warehouse, right? Me, well, all four of us, all three of us, right? So me, you, Sam, and another fella, Sinker, another good friend of ours. You were away, I think, Fidel. It's the 25th of August, which is my birthday. I go down about 4 minutes to my parents' place, right? And so my parents can see me for my birthday. I'm living the dream, right? And the idea was I'll go down there half an hour early, right? And then see them. And then Sam and Singer would come and pick me up to go out to Pancakes in Paradise for my birthday.
Right? Oh, yeah.
I remember hearing about this one.
This is what happened. An hour goes past. 2 hours goes past. I'm trying to ring Sam and Singer. Nothing. I go back up to the house to find these two who've been to Pancakes in Paradise. Didn't realize why they were going to Pancakes in Paradise. Forgot to pick me up on the way. Celebrating my birthday at Pancakes in Paradise, and I'm at home.
I would have loved to know what the hell was going on in their heads when they're sitting there being like, "Oh, this is delicious." Yeah, man, this is great. What a good idea.
Yeah. And then I'm like, "So, what happened to my birthday?" And they were like, "Oh, we just forgot that we're at." I was like, "Mate, you were going to celebrate me." And the thing is they have to drive past where I am to get there. So they've just driven past, kept going, eaten a meal. Not like got there and remembered, eaten the meal and come home. And then not even text me, be like, "Oh, where is he?" Oh, nothing.
Sam, are you seeing a common thread in this, Sam?
You seen a pattern?
I'm useless. I've just realized I'm a bad friend. Actually, this makes a point, right? Like Fedel, right, is like, Fedel has been probably one of the guys who has constantly, every year till about the ages of 24, 25, has gotten me exciting adventure presents, and I have never used them.
You've forgotten my birthday so many times.
No, wait, but wait, no, I haven't forgotten. What I'm saying is like, you remember that present you got me to go diving with sharks?
Sharks, yeah, and you didn't do it, and it was like it was
valid for 2 years.
2 years, and I called you up and be like, "Hey man, have you done that awesome diving with sharks in Underwater World yet?" And you're like, "Oh no, I haven't got round to it yet." Like,
what was the other one? What was that one where you got like you put your feet in the skis and you go swimming
water
up
skiing?
In it? No, not water skiing.
Yeah, the water, the jetpack thing, yeah.
Oh, you got me the jetpack thing? Yeah, I didn't do that one either.
And the one that you did do, only because you fell, was when I sent you bungee jumping for your birthday.
Oh yeah, but I fell accidentally.
Yeah, so that was almost a wasted present because you went up, and I think we waited for like at least 25 minutes and watched you just like freak out, and then the only reason why you jumped is because you freaked out and went too far, and we saw you try and grab the rail, and you're like, no.
So I'm still waiting to be celebrated for that birthday. Still bitter.
So you guys asking me to cash on in?
Still bitter. I'll take the money.
I'm not.
I'll take the money.
I am seriously not in any position.
I mean, I'm saying, you can fix this in 24 hours with Steve. I mean, Pancake Paradise, it's just down the road.
Pancakes Paradise is probably shut down now, but whatever.
You just give Sing a call and be like, "Hey man."
I could probably buy like, you know, those like protein pancakes and make you nice pancakes.
Yeah, just throw us a 20 or something. You know what I mean? Like something.
I don't even have 20.
This is such it's got sad real quick. Eh?
COVID-19.
COVID-19, man. I'm living in a garage.
It happens. I forgive you.
Where did you travel? I traveled to the garage this year.
What's been exciting about the input, you know. But anyway, Stevie, what about you and your proposal?
Oh, I do like that one, Steve. Share. I want you to share with the audience how much of a successful romantic you are.
Okay. Where do I start?
What about the?
Maybe I'll give
what
a
about-
picture of what it was supposed to be like.
What's the simple? What from simple things like the chocolates that you got your missus that one time, or that you ate the?
Look, I've messed up everything with Tamara. Like the first time we started dating, the first Valentine's Day, she was like, "I don't like roses." For some reason in my head, I was like, "She doesn't like red roses." So I went and bought her all other colors of roses that weren't red. And then I also bought her this perfume that she really liked. So I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna be super romantic and like hide it in the roses." And then what it did is because it was so heavy, it broke the stems of the roses. And then I had to give, so I was like, "Oh, well, it's broken now." So then I gave it to her, and then it was like, because it's roses, they have thorns on them. So she had to put her hands down into the thorns in order
To get
to pull
the perfume.
To put the perfume back out. So yeah. And then my engagement was horribly wrong from, forgetting. Well, I'll paint a picture of what it was supposed to be like. It was supposed to be this lovely, I booked out a nice restaurant, booked out the back of the restaurant, so in a further place. And then we were going to drive up to the beach, and it was all picnic and fire and, wine and the puppy with.
It was exotic.
Yeah, had the puppy with the ring on the neck and was all going down. So did that, and then so that was the idea. So go pick her up from work, and I'm like, "Babe, we're going to Greek tonight." And she's like, "Nah, I don't want to go." I was like, "Tonight is going to be Greek." And she's like, "Nah, I just want dirty Chinese. Not doing it." I was like,
That's what dirty Chinese.
That was the word she used.
That's when you know your wife, it was a keeper. It's just like...
Yeah. I was in. I was like, I'm locked in. And so she's like, "Nah, don't want it. Not going." And she had a bad day. She just had an operation on her foot, right? So she was limping. She was in pain. And I'm like, "No, Greek tonight." She's like, "No, I'm not going Greek." So then eventually we managed to settle on Indian. But what I did, I don't like Chinese that much. So what that did is throughout the whole timeline. So then I ring my mate Dave. I'm like, "Dave, we've just finished eating Indian." And he's like, "I haven't even left to go set up the beach yet." So I was like, "You're kidding." So I had to drive Tamara around, wasting time before I could take her home because she lived just across from the beach to where I was doing it. And so, yeah, like literally I stopped in at the office and I just walked into my office and sat down for 20 minutes and then came back out. I was like, "Okay, I've done what I had to do." And then I drove to a construction site at a property I was looking at. And then we drove to McDonald's. And then I was like, "Oh, we drove to Max Brenner." And then I was like, "Nah, I don't want Max Brenner." So then we drove to McDonald's. And I went around McDonald's like 4 times. I was like, "Oh, I forgot to get the chips. Oh, I forgot to get the thick shake. Oh, I forgot to get..."
How I don't know how she's so patient to put up with any of this.
She wasn't happy at this time. And she was tired. It wasn't happy. So then what happened is, so we've gone in, and essentially what I told Dave to do is set up her apartment and say, "Hey, walk across to the beach, about 150 meters." Now, point 1, she can't walk well because she just had an operation on her foot. Didn't think this one through, did I? Mm-hmm. Point number 2 is David set up and Lucy had set up the house, but they locked the door differently to how she would lock it. So she didn't have the key to get back in her apartment. So she had to break in to her own apartment
with a busted foot.
With a busted foot. And then she saw the note that said, "Hey, walk across to the beach." Now, this also happened to be the windiest night ever. So I get to the beach and we can't get the fire lit. So basically we get a whole bunch of paper, light the fire. It blows away, sets the bank on fire. So we're there throwing sand on the fire, on the bank, because it set the bank on fire at the beach, right? And with like all the oil and all that jazz that you use to light those lanterns.
Oh, the kerosene lanterns.
Okay. Yeah, correct. Right. So when we were doing that, the picnic blew away. Right.
Bruh, are you serious?
Got it. Yeah. And then I was like, "Okay, we've got to get one lantern lit so she can see what's happening." And I take my shirt off and I'm holding my shirt to block the wind. As I'm doing that, Tamara walks around the corner. And I'm like, "Hey, babe, how you doing?"
Shirt. It's that time again. Boom.
Yeah. Took my shirt on, got the dog. Dog starts chewing through the ribbon. Chewing through the ribbon with a diamond on it. I'll catch a break.
Me. So he ate the diamond?
Like, chewing
No,
it.
did they the ring? It wasn't one that you didn't have to fish it out of the dog's butthole and be like,
no. Yeah, just threw the ribbon and just kind of fell, and then she kind of held it because I gave it to her, and then I was kind of like, you know what? I love you, so let's just do this. Like, the whole speech I had planned was thrown out the window. I should have given up a long time ago. Yeah, it didn't go well at all. But she said yes.
Yeah. End of the day, it still worked.
Amazing, an amazing relationship. If you look at the story, the things that we've been through, fighting over who gets to use the toilet when we're sick in India.
I was literally in my head. I still have like terrifying dreams of because I remember telling you about the tales that I had when I got sick working overseas, and I was like, yeah, man, like it's horrific. And then you're like, oh, not as bad as India.
Yeah, India was bad. Really bad, and to the point where, when you ever given up hope? I gave up hope. Like
that's Sam after tacos on a regular Tuesday.
Actually, just gave up hope. I remember running off the bus. The door
that's been me this week, man.
I just gave up hope. And it's just like, oh well.
It's been me this week, man. I've been trying to poop all week. It's not happening. I'm seriously suffering so bad right now.
Maybe you need to go get yourself a chicken tikka masala.
Mate, I've been telling you to get those beans, mate. You still haven't got them, have you?
Yeah, get those.
These things.
I had chicken tikka masala last night, man. It didn't work.
These ones, these little edamame.
Yeah,
but mate, it'll help. I don't eat them because I need them. I eat them because it's low in calories, but full of fiber. There you go. The more you know with Fedel Palmero.
Yeah. How about you, Fidel? Let's.
One of my favorite memories, which isn't really a memory because I don't remember much of it, but young, I might have been 20-year-old me, met a lass out.
This is us trying to find you.
Yeah. Yeah. This was So it met a lass, quite interested, and started talking. And this lass was like, "You should come and visit me at work. I work at Subway sandwich shop." And I was like, "Yeah, great." So come and visit her at like 9:00, just before she sort of finishes. And hey, I'm here to be all romantic, and not romantic, but just have a little yarn. She failed to mention that she had a boyfriend. And so it was a classic, huh?
Yeah. Little things.
Yeah, just minor details. Classic case of like issues in the relationship. I'm going to get interest with someone else to try and make the boyfriend jealous. Then behind the scenes, I wasn't aware. Her boyfriend and like 2 or 3 of his mates came into the Subway and flogged the piss out of me. And to the point that all I remember was hopping in my car and then waking up in hospital with you two on my side, and I'm like about to get a scan, and I'm like, "Oh, what are you guys doing here?" And it was like, 1:00 in the morning or something.
It was like 2. It was like, what was it? Was it like 11 at night?
When it happened?
Nah, like you would call us about 11:30 because we were playing FIFA. And then we got a call, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, what is Fidel calling for now?" Only to realize that you had been knocked unconscious.
Yeah, man.
And had ended up down the street. And he had that blue Volvo.
The blue Commodore.
Oh yeah, the blue Commodore.
Yeah, because I think I just drove to somewhere that I recognized, and then I don't really remember anything. I think I just passed out because I was proper. I had, when they did the scans, I had fractures to the front of my face and the back of my skull, and then swelling in the back of the brain.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a heavy one, but I'm forever grateful that you guys came and bailed me out from that one, and took the car.
That's no problem. That's what it's what we do,
Oh mate, dumb move.
That's what we do. or done the things we do for women.
To be fair, could have been solved if you just had been like, I got a boyfriend. Like,
yeah. So she threw you under the bus there. She
100%.
definitely threw you under the bus.
But we
To be
learn
fair.
from that. At least when I have a son, I can be like, hey man, cross your T's, dot your I's. Let's look at the details on this one before we.
The reality of it is like you got to be careful who you bring home, because again, being thrown under the bus by my friends. I wake up one Sunday morning, living the dream. Life's good. You know, I'm feeling fresh. I walk downstairs in our house. So we had a house 3 floors. Sam and Fidel were asleep on the top floor, different rooms. Right. I'm on the second floor with Singer, different rooms. I walk downstairs.
To caveat that, different rooms where we weren't all.
Well, where this started, I had to talk like that. To find 2 chicks sitting at my kitchen bench, who go, "Hey, how are you?" They don't say, "How are you?" I go, "Oh, hey, how you doing?" And they look at me and they say, "Well, are you making me breakfast?" Well, I want to know who these 2 random ladies are in my house. Right? And these ladies had come home for a lovely night with Sam and Fidel, only to wake up and go downstairs, and they just decided that they're demanding breakfast to be cooked by me. The random.
Listen,
Here's what's worse. No. Let me finish. I send a text message to Sam and Fidel to say, "Hey, come and sort your crap out." And you 2 send me a message back going, "Nah, we're good." I'm stuck. And they're not leaving until they get breakfast cooked.
Did we cook them breakfast?
Yeah, I think it was an omelette. I think it was an omelette.
No, they want an omelette. That's right. Yeah, they want an omelette.
So in our defense, because we all went out and it was just late. They came back. Neither Sam or I slept with these girls, but they were not. I'm gonna say they weren't nice people. As in, like we were like, oh, this is you're just stuck with them, you know. And you're like, all right, we just go to bed. We just went to bed, and that's why when they went downstairs, I went into Sam's room. I was like, oh man, they're so weird. And we could hear all the commotion, and Sam and I were like, we're just gonna pretend that it doesn't.
Just we didn't want to deal with it.
I just didn't know why I'm stuck with it.
Yeah, strange.
Oh my goodness.
We were just being hospitable. It's like, yeah, cool, no worries, you can stay. It's late, like cool. And unfortunately, you got caught in the crossfire there, Steve. So thanks, man. Thanks for taking that one on the chin.
Yeah, it feels like I'm taking a lot on the chin and not getting any favors the other way. Good to know where I stand in the friendship group.
Hey, good memories, mate. You know, that's the aim of the game. At least we give you a tail.
I always wonder where they are now.
Wait, really? You always wonder where they are?
That's a weird thing to wonder.
No, I don't always. I'm just saying, like, I wonder what they've done with their life. Whew, I've had a lot of regrets.
Yes, which is one that I'd like to mention on you, Mr. Chocklove.